All right, Brad, we've covered a lot on how AI consultants use AI to actually build and create. But once all that building's done, how are they using AI to actually enhance and optimize after the fact?
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of this will go down to specifics of what they're actually building, um, but a pretty one thing we love to do is in an AI loop or a process is to actually use AI to check AI. So, for example, we built a process for a customer, and they basically they wanted ideas of what the first 3 seconds of their TikTok video should look like. So what we did is we said, okay, let's get as many ideas as we can. So we actually hooked up every single model, Gemini and Claude and GPT and Llama, Facebook's model, and we load all of them up and we said, hey, give me your best 3 ideas, and we had the AI pick all the ideas of the best three uh, 1 to 3 second hooks for a TikTok video. But the part where the AI comes in additionally is we then gave it to another AI step and we said, hey, uh, choose the best idea here of all of these ideas. And so we had the AI choosing its own idea as well as come up with the original idea. And at the end of the day, when we tested that, like 9 out of 10 times, we actually preferred, we found that the AI was coming up with the ones that we liked the best, especially when we gave it some configuration. Um, that's one example. Another one is, some people are like, hey, this doesn't sound like a person or like an automated email response. We actually take our email response and we send it back to AI, say, hey, what are the things where this is weak and it doesn't sound like a human? And it actually calls it out. And then we do one more step and we say, hey, now rewrite the email and correct all these mistakes that you've made in the first one, and it rewrites it and it makes it like super clean and smooth. So actually using AI to think itself on itself through 1 or 2 iterations, actually we found can really improve the quality of content, and that's just having it review itself. But there's many other things that you could do to help improve iteration and iterate steps.
Gotcha. So AI can do so many cool things for AI consultants, right? What are some of the new things that AI consultants are creating or building or even optimizing right now that are just never been done before? They're kind of trailblazing and being pioneers in that sense.
So I would say, well, this automation of workflows with AI consultants is huge, and a lot of people are not doing it. Really, when people say, "I'm using AI," they're using ChatGPT and like Midjourney, and like that's their. It's like no, like honestly, it's like only going to McDonald's as soon as you find out that hamburgers are delicious. It's like there's so many more places to go. There's so much more you could do with this thing. And so the automation of chaining these things together using all the models in Symphony, that's a big deal. And we're seeing some huge improvements. Like that's real operational improvements there. In terms of like feature sets, adding in new technologies like these video technologies. The full video is not quite there yet. It's coming really soon. But like the voiceover technology, that's in there. Having AI speak as if we were having this conversation, but it's AI who's generating my voice and my lips moving. That's pretty new and innovative, as well as like video editing. That stuff's, but that's very particular to the field that they're working in for the consultant.
So there's something that I've been looking at a long time now in AI, and it seems to be becoming more and more of a thing. It's called the 90-10 rule. And essentially, what I understand of it is that AI will get you 90% of the way there, but there still needs some kind of a human intelligence touch to kind of take it across the finish line, which I'm guessing is what they mean by the 10%. Right? So, can you kind of dive into that and explain really what that means?
Yeah, yeah. So from our experience, when you think about it, there's actually say there's like a really small number of use cases that AI can do 100% of your job or that task. Very small percentage use cases. Then there's actually a much larger percentage of use cases where it can do 90% of the job, but then you need to get it the rest of the way there. And actually, if we want to extend it further, there's actually even a much larger set of use cases where it will do 50% of the job, and then you got to take the rest of the way there. But guess what? That 50% of the job is still going to speed you up. Depends on the job, but it could still speed you up tens of hours, or depends on how big the project is, even hundreds of hours. So like AI is, a lot of people think of AI as like, hey, it's going to solve all my problems, do all my automation for me. Like, yeah, some cases, sure. And it's getting better. But to embrace it now, kind of as early adopter and actually put it into your business, it's super useful right now just to do 50% of your job for you or 90% of your job for you. And then that just means you got to do the last 10%. Sure, I'll go edit a file, as if an associate wrote this report, and I just got to edit the last 10% to make it look nice. That's essentially what you're doing with an output of an AI. You're not going to get the exact perfect response, but you'll get it 90% of the way there.